And welcome to the Barggianos podcast. My name is Chuck. I'm your hostess with the leastest, and with me, as always,
Matt.
And sitting to my right, some call him BJ, some call him Bob, but we call him the head diver. We got a very special guest on the episode tonight, and we can't wait to tell you all about it. So, what do you think, Matt? Want to get these beers going?
Yeah.
Oh.
Got a few audience members, too. They're probably drinkless.
We'll talk about them in a second. All right, everybody ready for a cheers here?
Cheers.
Ring the bell, baby. Cheers, bud. Cheers, boys. Ooh. What the hell is that, Matt? That's Michelob Ultra Pure Gold.
It was a fail. That's what it is.
Why was it a fail?
Well, in honor of BJ, the head diver, he likes to drink Michelob Golden Light. And I went to the gas station, and I just thought maybe they changed their branding. And this is what I picked up.
Okay. Well, right on. Well, we want to welcome everybody to the show. And first off, and most importantly, we want to welcome Mr. Bob, the head diver of the Muff Divers, on the show. Bob, welcome.
Good evening, gentlemen. Hold that mildly.
Yeah.
So, let me get my beer first, Matt. Let me go in here. So, basically, tonight, what are we going to talk about, Matt?
All about the Muff Divers, a bowling team BJ started in, I got to look, 1975-76. 50-year anniversary coming up.
Big time.
When is the official, is there a month? Was it the first summer league? Was it?
August of 75.
Oh, wow. And there's a couple cool things going on here. So first off, one of the members of the audience is BJ's son, who is also on the Muff Divers. And so officially the team is older than all your children and anything else?
Oh, I hope so.
That he knows about.
That I can recollect. You know, there's how many in the beginning or how many in the end, you never know.
Yeah.
How many people have been on the Muff Divers team?
I would guess, and you'll probably hear names later sometime, I would say somewhere between 25 and 30.
Wow. And that's 50 years. So what's the turnover rate, you'd say? Like what would be your normal amount of time one player would be on the team, or is it all just all over the place?
It could be anywhere from 15 years, then a change, then 5 years and a change, 3 years and a change. It all comes with how long and how young and how old the team is.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the Muff Divers been around 50 years. And when did your son join?
See, this will be not only the Muff Divers' 50th anniversary, this will be Tony's 25th anniversary.
Wow.
Wow, that's impressive. A silver and a golden, right?
Oh, hold on. Now catch this. Now there you go.
There he is.
Let me check that up.
Took that picture.
Oh boy.
Tony's wearing the shirt backward.
1999.
I like
Yeah.
it. You're representing the team there, Tony. What is so how old were you? 99. That would have been
19?
19 years
Just
old.
a couple years out of high school.
Hold that up to the camera. Let's
Yeah.
make them internet famous there. Wow.
BJ, who else is in this picture?
That is you recognize Bob Benzing.
Yeah.
That is Tony Hughes and Ron Martin.
Wow. Ron's young.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Ron's young.
Oh,
He's
wow.
less grayer back then.
Yeah. Ron Martin, the king of Jägermeister.
We got some stories about Jägermeister too.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
So that was 26 years ago.
Yeah. So take us back to the beginning of Muff Divers. How did you create the name Muff Divers?
Yes, please.
One night, August of 75, sitting there, and it was the five of us pretty much new, but we figured it would be a good name to call the team. And at that time, we had a gentleman, his name was Ray Parson. Cool black guy. I mean, one of the coolest guys. I worked with him for years. We all looked at each other, and I says, Ray, I think a good name for us would be the Muff Divers. And all of a sudden, everybody's quiet, looks. He says, you got to be kidding me. Why Muff Divers? I said, but isn't it fitting that a bunch of guys would get together and call us Muff Divers? Everybody says, that one name will stick. And from then on, gentlemen, it's been a ride. It's been a good ride.
So you were the fish. You created the name. It just came to you.
Oh yeah. There ain't nobody says we need a name. Nobody could come up with a good name. So I had thought it was only fitting to come up with a good name as Muff Divers, and obviously, it stuck. And for 50 years, we always got the best look in the house.
Not only do we get the best look in the house, like everybody knows the Muff Divers around the area, I would say.
Pretty much.
But at state tournaments, we really get the look.
State tournaments probably our best influence on plenty. And the biggest thing was, I guess, the idea when we come up with selling shirts.
Yeah.
So one year we had the purple shirt. So the purple shirt, we said, well, let's bring a couple shirts with us. We might sell one.
Describe the purple shirt for the audience.
Matt, you're...
It's a dry fit purple T-shirt.
Yeah, that's all it was. And at that point, at the end of the tournament, we asked a gentleman, a black gentleman, he says, hey, would you like one of our shirts? He says, I think I'd like to be a Muff Diver. He says, you know what? And then Norm says, I think we got a shirt for you. And we sold that shirt for $20.
But I think, didn't that shirt say, I survived the tongue?
No.
That one didn't?
No. That one was just we had a couple plain shirts at that time.
Okay.
Did you teach them the special Muff Diver handshake?
No, we didn't go that far.
Okay. I still haven't been taught the secret handshake, so
you might not.
I'm hitting 6 years. This is past my 6 years, so I guess 10 years maybe you get the mark. I don't know.
Yeah,
the mark of the head diver.
So I think one of my favorite times is when people come up and ask, "What's a Muff Diver?" And nobody knows what a Muff Diver... Well, I shouldn't say nobody knows. People know, but people don't know what Muff Divers are. So we all wait, and we're like, hey, go talk to that guy. So BJ's got the great Muff Diver story. So BJ, when people come up at state and say, hey, what's a Muff Diver? Go through your story.
I usually... Have you really thought about what a Muff Diver is? It doesn't take long for the imagination to drift, for people to say... Would you actually do that to your woman?
So you're kind of like Walt Disney. You're an Imagineer. You got to use your imagination to understand what these things are.
Yes, you do. And that's the idea. You're getting carried away and you're trying to be polite.
Couple of windows.
Sometimes it's hard, but I'll get that.
Yeah. Something is.
And speaking of shirts, how many different shirts do you think you own over the years?
Okay. My closet today has got 24.
Wow.
24 now. That's in another room. Now the closet, it hangs. It's pretty much 3/4 full of Muff Diver shirts. So now we didn't start right away as far as having shirts the first, 5-10 years maybe. We weren't into shirts. But all of a sudden we just said we have to get shirts because we want that identity.
Oh, absolutely. So you have your own closet dedicated to divers' wardrobe.
Yes, I do.
Man, you guys ever thought about making like a fur jacket out of like a beaver or some kind of animal?
I think that says a lot for the mascots we've kept over years and we left in different cities.
What is the let's for the audience that don't know, what is the mascot? How did that start?
Well, the mascot started I would say probably 20, 25 years. Tony probably what do you think, Tony? How many years do you think our mascot has followed us?
Should be about 20 years.
About 20 years. We've had, I couldn't tell you, probably about 5 or 6 little mascots. And the only thing that would wear out on the mascot would be the squeakers.
So be a little more specific when you say squeakers. What does that entail?
Every mascot, as you see, has
I think it's in the tail.
the old squeaker.
So when do you squeeze that?
So when you feel like it.
It's a great answer.
So when they would eventually wear out, we'd leave it in a city. I think the last city we left in was maybe I don't know. I know it was one of the bowling alleys. We walked out, and Tony says, "We need to leave this mascot in a tree." So we left it. We left it in a tree because the squeaker wore out. And we got ourselves a new one. This is like I said. These usually last a long time. He even took the squeaker out of one and replaced, and because they were sewn in, or we put more squeakers in once the squeaker went out.
I remember one year
See this guy.
we forgot the beaver going down to state, and I forget which state tournament we were going to, but we realized it when we were on the road, and we started calling pet stores, asking pet stores if they had squeaky beavers, and that was quite the phone conversation when you're calling just random pet stores asking if they got squeaky beavers.
You found the squeaky beaver, right?
I think we did find one.
Or was that the year you had to cut out the squeakers to put in the found one?
Yeah, I think we found one.
I mean, it could have ruined the whole tournament if you didn't find it. So
Yeah, and the beaver mascot we give to the player that gets hung. So to get hung in bowling, if you got 5 guys and 4 of the 5 guys strike,
You got the beaver.
you got the beaver, and you get to hold on to the beaver until someone else gets hung. Plus, there's a little public shaming going on. You know, we yell whatever bowling number you are. So, you know, they don't say 5 that often when I'm there, only when Dave's there. You know, you yell 1, 2, 3, 5 or whatever number. And then if everybody strikes, we yell biatch for bench.
biatch for bench, and that means the person pays too, right?
Yes.
But our favorite number is
2.
2.
Yeah.
Why is 2 the favorite number?
Oh, we all know who bowls 2.
Norman.
Really?
Where's Norman tonight? Norman was supposed to be here tonight. There was like an act of God that did not want him here, apparently. There was a tornado that dropped down.
Yes, there was
Close.
we had a lot of rain, and the Knights have their ground holds a lot of water, and it probably took in a lot of water. So him and Gary probably had to go down there and bail out them.
Well, next time we'll save a chair for Norm.
Yeah.
We'll save a squeaker and a make a little golden for him. Be nice to go.
So, Bob, I know you got a lot of memories from the Divers. What's your most favorite memory of all time? Or top 3?
Top 3. Well, let's go with some of the ones that were out of town. And probably the one we probably were in, maybe Hannibal. Hannibal or down we went to Bob Benzing's first. We went to Bob Benzing's clubhouse or townhouse. And right next door was the golf course. So in the evening we play cards. And so we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4 beers, play a little poker. At that point in the night, Ron and Norm would like to sit and lay back, drift. And Tony said, "I got him." Both of them would nod off like that. Tony, and they had their beer straight up. Tony would go over there and pick their beer up, and they'd wake up and say, "Well, get out of here, Tony! Get out of here! You son of a bitch! Get out of here!" It was entertaining.
Wait, Tony started shit with people, or is a shit disturber? I could never even picture that.
He couldn't. And this didn't happen more than going out of town one time. This happened quite a few times when Tony would actually wait for them to actually. They'd have 1 or 2 drinks and actually start falling asleep. And Tony says, "My prey again. I can get these 2." It was always interesting. Well, we went to Bob's Clubhouse, townhouse. And same thing, but we, one afternoon we got to playing after having a few beers. And of course there was the golf course that laid right alongside, beautiful golf course. So we decided that it was late in the evening. We had enough beers, barbecue. So we go out there and we had a clear shot to the green from 3rd floor to the green. The challenge was who could throw the golf ball closest to the hole. So not only one guy would go, we said, ready, get set. Couldn't you see 6 golf balls flying off the deck? And guess who went and got the balls? Norm.
Are you guys seeing a pattern going on here?
Could Norm find them all?
Norm had trouble just getting down to the green.
Would you say he rolled down to the green?
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Man, I remember one trip. Now, we usually, if the weather's nice, all play golf on Fridays before the state tournament. And that's, I love playing golf, but Ron Martin was on the team at the time. Drank a whole, I don't even know how much Jägermeister this guy drunk. But he's on the edge of a hill trying to chip a ball, and he goes to chip the ball, and he starts rolling down the hill. He's probably, I don't know, how old do you think he was at the time? In his 60s?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, close to it.
Probably drank a fifth of Jägermeister. I mean, this guy will lick the rim. He'll drink shots at the bowling alley. He'll lick out inside the cup like Jaeger.
This is all Jägermeister. That's his drink of choice.
Yes.
Oh, that's one drink I've never, ever, even in my 20s, got into Jaeger. For some reason, I could never get over the Jaeger smell.
Black licorice.
Ooh. Yeah. And I don't like black licorice, so maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
But man, good for him. That's a man's man right there. And he was a diver, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I see why he was a diver. It takes a lot to be a diver.
It does.
That's a Jaeger man.
Chuck, you're getting good, though.
I like to bring something up, if or maybe too soon, but I think maybe we need a little bit more of a stronger drink for some celebration. But you want to say what happened this year?
We won the championship.
We won first place in the championship of the men's league, and that was pretty impressive. That was a hard comeback.
It was a good year. It was a challenging year, and it took all 8 of us to do that. And what I heard in another podcast when we were talking about how close everybody is and family close. You got to remember, me being the youngest guy on the team.
Absolutely.
Thanks, boys.
Yeah.
That's why I call all my four boys here. You're all my boys. Always will be my boys.
Love it.
And that's part of being close and family close and knowing these kids all that long and having a respect for them, and as well as we did. It was a totally different atmosphere, a totally different year, the way we did things compared to last year when we couldn't even lick our own. Yes. But we got past that and made it a different year and made a more challenging year and made the year count. And not only the first half, which we ended up second place, as you all well know of, and damn near we nailed it the first half. But we were sharp. But we come back the second half, but being, like I said, we were determined to do what we need to do and finish our business. And it was well placed and well done.
Great. I couldn't put it better. That's amazing.
Yeah, and that final, to bowl first place in that second half, we had to do a lot. We had to win, I think it was 5 points to go to a roll-off, or all 7, something like that.
I was telling Tony earlier this evening that we had taken 7, then we come back and won another 7 on roll-offs.
That's 7 points each week for the audience.
7 points for 3 weeks, and come back the last week and won at sweepstakes. We won 5, so we lost only 1 game in 4 weeks. Yeah. But we needed to do that. There was no other avenue. We had to do it, or we sank ourselves.
Yeah, and then this year you tore your hamstring, right? So you were out for a while?
Yeah, I was out for hamstring? Yep, I was out.
Phil was out for a while. He probably tore his hamstring, but didn't go see a doctor.
Smart.
Yeah.
And Norm wasn't bowling well. It was just a choice of matter that the 5 people that I put there that I knew that was and they should be to win it. Sometimes you make a harsh decision on the people that you want to see and the people that sit be determined that, hey, you made a good choice. And the other 2 guys are all for it.
Yeah, and ever since Dave started getting stretched out, he's been stepping up his game. That extra stretching he's doing.
What do you mean stretched out? Is this something you help him with?
No, I don't help him with that. He gets professionally stretched out.
Only when you give him that incentive. Skittles. Where can a guy ever go wrong? Skittles. Now, I've known a lot of guys and a lot of kids like Skittles. But here's a guy, he finishes half a bag of Skittles, then comes back and says, does anybody have a stapler? Now, mind you, I love Dave, but that is a great story about Skittles.
He goes to the counter asking if they got a stapler. I thought he was lying at first, but he staples the bag of Skittles to save it for later.
I'm going to stick up for Dave. I think Dave likes. First off, I think he loves like office equipment and furniture, and I think he was trying to save Skittles later for the team, so you would have some Skittles too.
Yeah. I doubt he was saving anything for me.
He wanted you to taste his rainbow. I really do.
Oh, boys! I think it's time to ring the bell and introduce another friend of the Muff Divers, and why I think Matt's going to pour us a shot of.
What is this, the BJ?
It's not Crown Apple. It is not Crown Apple, folks.
Yeah, let's clear your camera here so you can see here, buddy.
So I'll let BJ tell everybody what it is, but it's in a Crown Apple bottle. But I guarantee you, it's not Crown Apple.
No, that's
we're not
obviously I can't claim that recipe. That is Tony's recipe.
We're not sponsored. We're not sponsored by Crown Royal.
No.
As you can tell, the scratched off Lego and the cigarette burn on the bottle. We're fine. So what is this in here? What is the?
What do we call it, Tony?
Jungle juice.
It's raspberry lemonade, though.
Its new name is Big Reds.
So Bob will bring this from time to time up to the bowling alley, usually in like a used wine bottle, something like that.
Any bottle except the bottle that's made in.
Absolutely. And so I want to tell my story real fast before we drink this. I'll make it quick because I'm thirsty too. So first couple of years I was on the team, Bob's like, hey, I got you a gift. I got you a present. And I'm like, great. I love presents. This is fantastic. First year on the team and people are bringing me gifts. I feel like Jesus. So I get this stuff and it's like bright red, looks like a Hawaiian punch, and it smells like Hawaiian punch, and I taste it. It's delicious. So I think Bob was happy, and they know that we had Barggianos going down. The neighbors all come over, and Matt's like, oh yeah, people love this. So you brought a couple extra bottles for me, and you're generous enough to do that. And we sat there, came back to the bar that weekend, and we all partaked in some Bob's Magical Juice. Well, I'm drinking it like it's water. I think at one point Matt looks at me and is like, hey, that's a lot of those shots you're taking, or you may want to pace yourself because I've done this before and it tastes like water. Let's just say I tasted red for the next 2 days, and so did my toilet, because that stuff went down like butter. And I don't think I've had a lot of your juice since. So yeah. But thank you for the adventures and the experiences, because it's delicious.
That drink upon the fruit punch drink, or the Hawaiian punch drink, has been a diver. The diver would make that every holiday. That means both drinks would come to the bowling alley. And bowling alley, that means the balls wouldn't come, the drinks would come. Leave the balls home, bring the bottles with you. And that's the way he used to do it. We always brought for holidays, that used to be a holiday drink, and had many, many people walk out of the bowling alley.
Feeling pretty good.
Would you almost say that was a diver delicacy?
That was. Yes, it was.
That's the fancy
I think that's one of my favorite nights is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. That's that's the juice night.
Don't start.
But, Chuck has never in like 6 years been able to partake in the day before Thanksgiving.
Back, right. Remember
Wednesday bowling. He's always like, oh, I think my wife has to work or something.
I'm always afraid you're going to try to take advantage of me if I'm drinking all this juice. So that's on you, not me.
What's the difference any other night? You're like, here, I'll drink more so you can take advantage of me down in my basement. Now you're worried about the juice?
I've never really thought of it that way.
Yeah.
No, I'm actually, I go to town with my family, like just like down to the property. So I get to take advantage of it, but one of these years I will.
Is it like Joel's kid getting sick that he can't bowl in a state tournament?
Bullshit.
Is it something like that?
Who cares about that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jolie.
Gold.
Let's get drink these or what, boys?
Yeah, hold on.
You boys want to? Yeah, I can hand them out. Are you going to walk up here, boys? And I feel like we're in church. Do you need some like bodies of Chuck and also with you, Dave? You like that shot glass? That means you're bad to the bone.
I love
it's a nice
it.
skull-shaped
Yes.
shot glass for BJ. All right.
Hold it. Ring that bell.
You guys boys ready? Time for a drink.
To the divers.
To the divers. Boys. Jesus, that's really...
Oh,
Okay, I could drink that whole bottle and not go to work tomorrow. Good
Yeah.
Lord, that's delicious.
Delicious.
What is that? You said raspberry? Mm-hmm. That might be one of my favorite ones. I like the fruit punch ones. And that, wow, that's
I like the
delicious.
watermelon one. The watermelon
Yeah?
is pretty good. But yeah,
Describe that for the listeners here. So what is that? I'm going to say raspberry lemonade and...
I'm going to say it's like a diver's delight.
Ooh.
Like you get the extra juices.
I think that's best descriptive like that.
Yeah.
And divers, we do love the
Yeah.
extra juices.
Tony, that's the new name. Diver's Delight. Give me a little Diver's Delight.
You need to see a lawyer about that tomorrow, Dave. Get on that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was really good. That was really good.
Thank you for bringing there.
Yeah, so BJ, do you remember? Well, let's go back. Let's name off some names.
Okay.
Do you get? I know you wrote some down, start to finish. I don't know if you got them in order, but let's name.
And I hope they're all still alive, but I feel like it's like...
No, some of them are not.
I feel like it's an...
That is correct. We've lost about 2 or 3.
Yeah,
I feel like this is like an in memoriam. What do you call it? In memoriam from like the, like you watch the Academy Awards.
It's pretty close.
Remember the divers. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm not being funny. I like that. That's cool.
We will give the Oscars out later.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay. I'm going to shut up. Go ahead and please.
So
Yeah.
I'll start. Now, some toward the end, or my end, will be first names because my fellow diver, we couldn't think of the last names. But for those that have bowled with us, and I'll go through majority of them, and my friend Matt over there will take over with the rest of them. Let me go through these real quick. Bob Jasenovic, Bob Benzing, Steve Sesniak, Ed Stickman, Ray Parson, Len Pemberton, Ray Smith, Joe DeVincent, Vern Dunn, Kurt Wolford, Rich Woodford, Tony Jasenovic, Lou Bicanic, Mark Hughes, Corey Dempsey, Tom Westridge, Mel Brown, Jim Jasenovic, Charlie Mooney, Mike Kelly, Mark Ugerich, Bill, Ken Evan-Everly, and another Ken, Matt.
Then we got Matt Schuler, Norm Wheely, Dave Y.O. Reediser, better known as Brokeback, Phil Winkler, Flip. We got Ron Martin, the guy who sits the closest to you in the bowling alley. He always ends up in your lap. You got Rian Collet, Vince Gerwitz, right man, right spot. Chuck Barggianos, and then our honorary tournament members is Jolie Fair and Brian Winkler.
We salute you.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm out of beer now. That's how much I salute it. Is you said Steve Sesniak?
Sesniak,
Did he pass away?
Yes.
I think I went to high school with his son.
You probably
You
did.
did, Kyle.
Yes.
Kyle, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were good friends.
Yes.
Okay, that's another thing about this team. There's been so many. I call it Norm and my spirit animal. There's been so many small world connections on this team, and I've been over this on the podcast. But basically, how I got on the team, people that are on the team, people's children, high school is everything, and it makes zero sense, but it's incredible that it's a small little diver world. Oh, got me a Bud Light. Thanks.
Yeah, so
You can open that for me?
just looking at some of these names, like Vince Gerwitz, one of the biggest cheerleaders for everybody else,
Yes.
but got down on himself so bad every time.
Let me tell you, the ride home was miserable.
Thanks, sir.
But I love that guy.
Yes.
God love Vince. But didn't he give you the shirts back because his wife he couldn't keep them in the house?
Yeah. He's kind of afraid to keep them in his closet.
Yeah.
Because she didn't like him, or she had kids, or what?
Well, the first Muff Diver that hid shirts and, you know how they say, don't come out of the closet, Doyle.
So that diver did come out of the closet.
Yeah.
I think Vince has probably got to be close to 80 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think the shirt's still in his car, or he's allowed to have it in the house?
No, he's got them at BJ. He gave them to BJ.
I got them up in my collection. See, my shirts are all hangers. Them are in a bag.
Can you go into this? Explain how these are like displayed. It can be fine just a hanger, but I'm picturing like an NBA arena, and you got each diver's shirt up in some glass, and Michael Jordan standing there signing them for you. Like that's 24 jerseys. That's amazing.
See, now what we got to do is one of these days is where somebody actually wants the autograph. Chuck, I'll autograph your shirt and you can put it down in the basement.
Ooh. But the problem is people
good.
would steal it. I mean, absolutely. First night it'd be on the wall. It'd be gone. It'd be Dave. He's like, I'm taking this shit.
Well, especially if you turn the shirt around and says Muff Diver with my autograph. That'll go quick, but that sells for a hot item.
We could pay off the bar.
Yeah, so tonight, in memory of the Muff Diver episode, I wore, this is one of 5 shirts that I got. I think it was 5.
That was we went with the 3 combination.
Oh, the 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was one of 3, probably my favorite shirt, but I came in full uniform. I know everybody can't see my pants, but when I first started the bowling team, we got fined $1. $1 went into the kitty.
Right.
If we did not wear black pants and a black T-shirt, like white T-shirt, you pay $1 in the kitty.
Wow.
I know, Chuck, you don't understand this kitty stuff still after 6 years.
See, it's black.
What's
black? See, even I wore.
Hey, which color is this on?
That's
asshole?
black.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm being respectful.
You did.
Yeah.
You
What's a kitty? What's that?
Yeah. Everybody puts in money every week. Chuck owes the most. Well, no, really, Norm.
You guys ever heard of this, audience?
But yeah, the kitties fun times. You know, that's what makes you're competitive trying to beat the other team. But I don't know. Part of me and Dave just go at it. We try to be the best every night and outdo each other every week.
I've never seen you guys bust each other's balls or give each other shit. Tony, any?
Never.
Oh, Dave's literally flicking him off right now. All right.
Yeah.
So,
That's entertaining. That's entertainment for this evening. If they don't see eye to eye, that brings out. I think it brings out a little challenge to everybody else.
you know what? Matt's a big shit disturber when it comes to bowling, but also he's a good motivator. Not just when you slap me in the ass really hard or, tell me to throw that fucking ball. But yeah, I get in the zone. Everybody kind of helps each other out. And like you always said, it's always stuck with me where, we bowl 3 games and hopefully we win, but everyone helped out. Everyone does their part. And I've always liked that because it's true. It's, I might shit the bed one game. Next game, I'm ending it with 3 strikes or whatever it is. It feels good to do that as a team.
We don't walk away without somebody else listening to somebody else to try to improve your game. And that's what makes the relevance of this team, because you don't have one guy trying to outdo the other for what the purposes of what we're bowling for, because that's been the jest for 50 years, and that's why we've got guys that should belong on a team. And that's how we got along together for this long.
Well said. And I think that's probably the magic of the team, like you're saying. That's why it's been around for 50 years, because it's that togetherness, the camaraderie, and then everybody wants to win as a team. It's not about individual.
Well, it's like a test, until you can tell me that you actually dive, then you haven't passed my test.
I remember that test. My knees hurt for like weeks. It's crazy.
I remember.
That's what she said.
A lot of scabs that week, but it was worth it. 6 years later.
And Norm's over there parting the Red Sea. So, good for him.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So what do you got in the envelope there, BJ?
That's a surprise later, but let me give you a recap.
The deed to the bar.
A recap on a 50-year journey.
Yeah.
Our first 2 years were at Carrollton Bowling Alley. Our next 40 years were at Crest Bowl.
40 years? I didn't know that. 40 years at Pist.
4 years at Kingpin, which is the original Carrollton Bowl. And then the last 5 years at Plaza Bowl. Now, breaking down the 50 years that we were each bowling alley, we had taken 1 year, one championship out of Carrollton Bowl. We took 5 championships out of Crest Bowl. We took 1 championship out of Kingpin, and we took 2 out of Plaza. That means we've taken 9 championships that I can recollect out of the 50 years, but I can only imagine that I can come up with at least 6, 7, 8 times we've been runner-ups. So that's pretty good. You figure 15 to 20 times out of 50? That's a pretty good percentage for a team.
Your math man, what is that percentage?
Oh, 50% is 25. So I would have to say 25% of the time, or 25 is 50% of the time. I would say we are in the top 1/3 easy. I mean, we're winning leagues at 20% clip. And these are guys, all of us only bowl one night a week.
Yeah.
And these aren't easy leagues. These are pretty intense men's leagues where you got some pretty great bowlers.
We've been in leagues that have been competitive, and we've been in leagues that were more than competitive, where we thought that it's not that we don't belong. Sometimes I felt that way because being the left, some of the guys, even I'll say it, Matt and Dave, they belong because they're that much better. And that's the way it was. But they felt it was no good to our team to be in a place like that, one where we all should be competitive as one and be competitive with the whole league.
Yeah, I'll say the last week when we won the championship, when we were bowling for the finals, that was probably the worst week I had all year. I think I averaged 180 a game.
Not bust your balls, but I think you're right. But like what I was saying, the team stepped up. You did a lot of it the whole year, and then the team stepped up, and we had your back.
Oh, Dave would have busted my balls real quick on that.
It wouldn't have took long.
Yeah, his highest game. Yeah, he did bowl 300. We'll talk about that on a different episode.
Yeah, we can. A couple sprinkles there.
Yeah,
but let's not leave out one thing, and I think we all forgot, and it's been going on for years. It's not only your name is up there, because years ago we used to enter our names, and everybody had there hasn't been a bowler that we have named don't have a nickname. Because if you didn't have a nickname on this team, you really didn't belong on the team. Ain't that right? Dago?
Mine was shithead for the first 2 weeks. He's like, all right, I'll call you Dago. Be nice to you. It's like, thanks, Polish man.
I love Dave's nickname.
What's that?
It depends on the week.
Is this for bowling or for you guys' pet name for each other?
Both.
Okay.
I call him BB.
What's BB stand for?
Brokeback.
Brokeback. Wasn't it a movie about?
It was, yeah.
I don't remember it. We'll have to discuss it next time.
Yeah.
I'm again, just a little preview, but one of my favorite things when you and Dave get together is, and I've said this before, Dave, I got a couple friends like Dave. Dave, when Dave gets mad at bowling, he gets mad at himself, not anybody else. He gets angry. When he's walking away, and he's like, God, he's so mad, and you're like, oh God. And me and Phil are like, oh, don't talk to him, don't look at him. And I was new on the team first year. And me and Phil we're sitting next to each other, and we're like, we're going to walk away. So we walk like 2 feet away, moved our seats over. And you were about to throw a chair, but you didn't. And then out of nowhere, we're trying to do this. And Matt's like, way to bowl, you shitty piece of shit, or something. And oh my God, I'm like, he's gonna kill him, like literally with his hands. And yeah, but then you calm down after 10 seconds, and it's great. But that was the first time I'd seen that. I'm like, what's going on? Is this normal? And Tony's like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Man asked me what's in the envelope. I'm going to hold back, and since we're on the air, it's a good time for it. I had like I said, a sheet of paper, and I took it over to a good friend of mine, Dana Wheely, and she created a nice little award for us.
Look at that.
Can you read that for us?
Go ahead.
League champions, Wednesday night men's league, Plaza Lanes, Muff Divers, Bob Jersinovic, Tony Jersinovic, Norm Wheely, Matt Schuler, Dave Reediser, Phil Winkler, Chuck Barggiano, and Ryan Colley.
Nice. I love it.
And present it to each of us fellas to hang up where you'll. I'll find a good place for you down
Oh,
there,
it's for sure going somewhere down here.
His bowling, I thought your ring or something was over there.
Oh, I got a wall over here. I'm getting Dave Steele shit, so we got to watch it. But
Yeah.
thanks, man. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Can I see that? Look at that. It's like legit too, man. Look at that. There's like a notary who notarized it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. You want to hold it up to the camera there and show that to the video there. Look at that. Well, thank you, man. I love it. That is a official winners. That's the only problem with there. Like I thought, like a movie thing, you like win the first, because I was the very first year I was in the league. I'm being humble. We won the league, and then this year we won the league too. And I'm thinking, oh, cool, they'll get like some $10 trophies or something like out of a grade school, and you get like a patch if you ask for it. I thought like in the movies you'd get like some big things, almost like this over here. Where's that from, BJ?
What, the trophies?
Yeah. Well,
that was the second year we won, and that was from Carrollton Bowl.
yeah, something like that. I'm not even asking for something that big, but it'd be nice if they could, hand little things out for winning. But that's great, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Yes.
I mean, that means a lot.
Let me just say, let me give a cahoots to my son, which I've always been proud of. And to have your son bowl with you for 25 years, I think that's a set. I tried that with my own father and didn't come that close. And I had the privilege of still, and hope it goes 30, 35 years. When I can't stop bowling, I can't stop. I won't be able to walk and I won't be able to bowl, but I'll still have my boys.
Yeah.
Love it. You'll be there.
Will you still be the kitty keeper?
Yeah.
Tony gave that up.
You'll be there. We can be on a piggyback ride. We'll get you in there.
No, I think it's Chuck's turn. What do you think, man?
Oh,
You guys don't want me to do
Yeah.
anything with math.
What's this mean?
Yeah. A dot.
Let me take this home and study this out.
I've been on here this team for 6 years. I still don't understand. Matt, one year I'm like, Matt threw a 300, and Matt's like, you owe $20 because you threw a 300. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, sure.
I even brought a blank kitty sheet over to Chuck's garage one night.
Who's got time for
And
that?
I sat down with him to explain everything. He still don't get it.
To be fair, though, his hand was on my leg the whole time, so
Yeah.
I couldn't focus. But I don't know. When I get to bowling, all jokes aside, I like to like focus on actually the bowling. So I enjoy the whole kitty part, but if I do both, my brain just doesn't work like that. So
I'll sell you that ball for $10.
Oh, yeah. I love it. I love it.
We won't let you forget, Dana.
So I bought a spare ball. Without getting too boring for the audience, a spare ball is just for to pick up the spares, and you have your other balls you bowl the first ball with. And I just didn't end up using it. My thumb was hurting, and I think it's been 2 years. So every time you're like, wow, you got a new ball. And I tried it like one time. I never really got a chance to try it again. And every week, Bob's like, hey, man, how's that ball doing? Next week, hey, man, I kind of need a new ball. Next week, kept going on and on. So I think the joke was you were going to buy it from me for $80, and last week I was going to give it to you for like $2.50 or something. It still smells new too. It's got that new ball muff smell.
I keep looking around. The blue light special. I keep in my head.
It's that Daggle deal of the week coming at you from Barggianos. Drink.
Yeah.
All right. So time to wrap it up. BJ, it was fun having you on the show.
I loved it.
Fun hearing
you so
about the
much.
Muff Divers. I'm proud to be part of this team. I don't even know how many years now. I'd have to go back and think, but it's been a fun ride. State tournaments are always memory. Like some people say, why do you still bowl in state tournaments? And it's really not about the money. I think BJ cashed this year for like $2.43 or something.
$4.72.
Okay, close enough.
He was the big winner.
Hey, I cashed it in today. I didn't know what to do with it. I put it back in the kitty.
Yeah, so
Chuck, the kitty, the book cost that much.
The what?
the book.
The book. The kitty book.
We have an animal? Is that mascot? I thought it was the beaver.
Yeah. So we're going on 50th year. This is going to be a special year with special shirts, special
shirts, and a
patches.
special patch, yeah.
We got, I think it's going to be a fun, I won't say surprises, I would say surprises on the show, but I think there's going to be some fun stuff this year we can make it special, right? I don't know. I definitely need another shot before this is over, so just
All right.
let Jungle Juice call my name here. Oh, look at Matt's already got it out. Boys, would you like another shot? Sure. I've never heard them say no once to liquor, so I don't even know why I asked the question.
Liquor. Who we looking?
I don't know. There's a diver. Goop, 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 goop. again, this is like a raspberry lemonade. I'm gonna say tea. That's seriously, Tony. That's one of my favorite ones. To do a.
You had this one before, though, Chuck, hadn't you?
I've had a lot. I don't remember anything the next day, Bob.
Well, that's happened to a lot of folks.
I'm making jokes, but I'm not, because we're drinking our traditional, 6-10 beers, whatever, and mix this. I don't mix anything. So
Ring the bell.
Cheers, boys.
Hey,
Yes.
diver down.
Oh man.
All right. Well, the audience has been saying they love the guest. That's the feedback we're hearing. So we're happy you joined us. An extra long, probably one of our longest Barggiano episodes.
Yeah.
Special. Worth it.
Yeah.
Means you're important.
Well, we all hope we are.
You're
not just me. The whole, you guys play into all this just as much as I do. I've been fortunate to know that I've had I've been on a bowling team for 50 years with the same name.
That's just because you can't remember things, or you just just keep the same name.
Both.
Yeah. Well, you're a Barggianos VIP, so
That's a privilege.
Getting some awards here, but
Yeah.
absolutely. So, I guess thank you for being on the show. Oh, we've got one thing, BJ. Can you tell the audience to subscribe and all that fun stuff you hate to hear?
Tell me subscribe. Oh, subscribe.
Tell them to subscribe to the channel.
And then point somewhere. I'll make something cool happen.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, please take it for what it's worth. And from the head Muff Diver, the Godfather, we'll guarantee you a hell of a show.
Subscribe. I love it.
Subscribe.
I love it. Okay. Well, on that note, audience, thank you so much for being here, boys, fellow divers. Bob, honestly, absolute privilege. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Matt, you're okay.
Yeah.
So, one more time, let's do a cheers after this, and we'll say, Barggianos out.